And a very good day or good evening. It is currently Sunday, July the 19th, 2026, 11:34 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time. And this is indeed episode 6 of Sky of the Universe podcast. And it's been a couple months since I recorded an episode, so here we are in July, almost August already, imagine. So doing this episode, recording this episode in St. Henry, right outside the Place Saint-Henri metro station, in fact. You may hear in the background, that's the 36 bus going by, the 36 route, Monk. That's 40-228 STM bus fleet number, 2020 Nova Bus LFS hybrid. So, welcome again to another episode here of the podcast. Like I said, episode number 6. And, well, tonight we're going to do the usual, just talk about random things regarding my channel, related to my channel and beyond. And once again, thank you, first of all, everybody. My channel reached 14,000 subscribers recently, so thank you, everyone, for your support. For anyone that's new to my channel or is just subscribed to my channel, I welcome you. And if you've been around my channel or subscribed to it since the beginning, thank you as well. And anyone that's been here in between the beginning and now, or has joined or started watching my videos between the beginning and now, welcome. So thank you again for 14,000 subscribers. And you know, the best way to help my channel grow is to, first of all, spread word of my channel, share it with your friends and whatnot, co-workers. And you know, if you know anyone that's interested in what my channel's about, whether it's transit, nature, walking videos, you name it, random stuff, pretty much everything and anything, when you know, for sure, share the link to the channel. It's very easy to do. And so thanks again for that. And yeah, a couple of things I just wanted to talk about right off the bat. First of all, congratulations to Bigfoot Malchungus, aka Pinhead. He recently had a YouTube video that got hyped. Now this is a thing on YouTube where it's a new thing, I guess, for up and coming creators. There's a Via Rail train, by the way, so we're getting all the background noises. Sort of, I guess you could say, sort of convenient, because this is what my channel's about. Sort of appropriate for my channel to have that noise. But anyway, so this hype feature is a new thing on YouTube for, you know, up and coming creators, where you hype their video and they go up on this list, and he made it to the #1 in Canada. And it only lasts a couple of days, up to a week, and then the cycle repeats for other new channel, or, you know, up and coming channels. So congratulations to Pinhead, Bigfoot Malchungus, for making it the #1 as the #1 hype video in all of Canada on the YouTube hype list. So the YouTube hype list, if you want to check it out, is if you go on your app on your phone, it's like a little wheel. I think it's on the left, and I think there's a link there to the hyped list. So anyway, little shout out there to Pinhead, aka Bigfoot Malchungus. Congratulations. So yeah, also for the transit community, right now, I know we have some new games that are coming out on Roblox. We have a REM game that's being developed by Skinfleck, Nico Blazin, Music Stage. These are, of course, their nicknames. Schmiga, aka Dan, a couple of others out there that are, you know, chipping in on this game. So that's something to look forward to if you're a game fan, Roblox fan. So check that out. I'll probably do a video playing that game shortly. In fact, tonight they did another preview of that REM game, so I'll be sure to eventually make a video of myself playing that. Also, there's another game coming out, I believe, a Green Line project, also by Skinfleck and others. So yeah, something to look forward to if you're a gamer and transit fan. So, you know, also we're coming up now to, I guess, pretty much, well, look, we're almost August, as I said. You know, time seems to be going by fast. And I know that, you know, living in Montreal, living sort of in the northern hemisphere, winter is coming, of course, but it seems that summer sticks around a little bit longer, even though we're in the northern hemisphere. Summer seems to be sticking around for longer, and what I mean by that, of course, is summer-like conditions, whether it's hot temperatures, above seasonal temperatures. I can see us going into probably October with temperatures in the 20s, mid-20s, upper 20s. So there's still a lot of summer-like conditions left. Of course, the official end to summer is around September 19th. I think autumn, September 20th. But anyways, still some time left for me to get some videos done, which I want to get done and can only get done, or at least it's easier to get done in the summer season. For example, I do want to do a drone video of some of the construction sites on the Blue Line extension of the Montreal Metro. I want to get the drone up and try to get some video safely from up above. Whether it's one site or multiple sites east of Saint Michel Metro Station. I'll also do some videos from the ground looking over into the fence. I know there's a couple of sites that actually have a place you can look at the construction site from above, and it's meant for people to observe it. So I'm glad that they've done that. That always makes it more interesting. So that's definitely on my list of things to do in terms of videos. Also, I want to do a walk in the Botanical Gardens shortly. I do have the museum pass right now for another year. I've extended it. I resubscribed to it, and that's all the museums for the Space of Life. So that includes the Biodome, Insectarium, Botanical Gardens, the Biosphere. So again, that's the Biodome, Insectarium, Botanical Gardens, Biosphere, and Planetarium. So again, I still have to do a video on the Biosphere and a walk through the Botanical Gardens, both which I plan to do sometime this month in the next couple of weeks. So stay tuned for that. Also, another goal of mine is I am looking into potentially getting some sort of GoPro or action camera, and this is going to be another big investment for my channel, because it's going to allow me to do biking videos, which will be a lot smoother. It's going to allow me to do even walking videos. I can put the GoPro on me and do walking videos. I can even do, like, I know Jorma, my buddy in the West Island, he does REM videos with the GoPro, and he does biking videos with the GoPro. He often takes his bike to the REM station and films the ride there with the GoPro, and then films the REM ride itself with the GoPro. I know Alton McFall, aka Retro Old School. He also uses a GoPro to do videos, walking videos and whatnot. And I know there's different types of GoPros. I know there's different years, different series. Just like the drone that I have, the DJI Mini 4K. It's something I have to research and look into. So, as always, if you want to help me out and help my channel grow and, help me get the funds for these things, because I'm not a rich person, obviously. If you don't know that, I'm not exactly well off or even close to well off. So, I mean, any tips or, donations or, things that little, gifts or whatever is sent to me, it definitely makes a difference for my channel. And everything that I get in terms of revenue through monthly memberships or donations, tips, gratuities, you name it, I put right back into my channel and I reinvest it. For example, I recently went to Saint Jean sur Richelieu for the first time by bus, and I used some funds from my recent tips and whatnot that I got from the viewers, you generous viewers out there, and I put that towards the tickets. So again, these are little things that make a difference, and anytime you want to support the channel in terms of a tip or a donation, it's greatly appreciated. Obviously, I have a membership option. You can see the options if you want to do, I think it's around $5-6 a month. You can cancel anytime. You can just click the join button. I also have an Amazon wish list things on there that can help my channel, including a GoPro camera. So if you happen to have a extra money that you feel like being generous with, and you like my channel, definitely feel free to make a donation. It would be greatly appreciated, or buy me something on the list. And you can even send me an e-transfer, skyoftheuniverse8608@gmail.com. Again, that's skyoftheuniverse8608@gmail.com. So again, thank you everyone that does support me that way. So yeah, a couple of other things that I wanted to discuss tonight. We do have in the transit community also news of the 2025 STM Nova buses that should be coming out very soon. These are 2025 Nova Bus long-range electric buses, also known as Nova Bus LFS E+. Those will be coming out soon, hopefully. They've started testing them. I have viewers and fellow transit fans that have seen them in the West Island being tested. So yeah, that's something to look forward to. Hopefully it will be soon. Also, another thing I wanted to mention, for you MR63 fans, of course, the MR63 were the original Metro trains of the Montreal Metro. They were retired about 10 years ago, or a little bit less than that. I think it was 2018 or so. You may or may not know they kept a couple of those MR63 Metro trains, which were around since 1960s. They were the original Metro trains of the Montreal Metro. A couple of them were preserved. We have one at Expo Rail, the Railway Museum. We have one at the University of Montreal. Still have to do a video on that eventually. And we have a couple of others that are in different locations. I think there's a skate park, the Taz Skate Park, which is I think in Saint Michel. They have one that's been converted into like a sort of rest area. But we have also, and this is a big one, we have multiple MR63s that are in LaSalle near the water treatment plant, and those have been sitting there rotting basically for years now. Now, what they're supposed to be doing with these is they're supposed to be building in southwest Montreal, well, near the downtown core, specifically near Peel and Wellington. Actually, Peel and Ottawa Street, I believe it is. There's a big empty lot there right near the fire station number 3, and they're supposed to be building there a pavilion, this structure, and they're supposed to put some abandoned MR63 trains in there. And the ones that are in storage right now in LaSalle, those, they've been sitting there for years rotting, and I hope they restore them. And they should have been kept in an indoor storage. I don't know why they were just literally left in the wild like that. But anyways, those are supposed to be used for this project, the MR63 project. Now, this project was supposed to have been done, I think, a year or two ago. I emailed them last year. A couple of us transit fans emailed them as well last year. They said that sometime this year they were supposed to get funding from the city. Now, of course, we've had elections since then. We have a new administration since that reply that they sent last year, saying they were supposed to get some sort of funding from the city or approval or something. And I emailed them again recently, I think it was a week ago, just asking if there's any updates, because now we're in July here, 2026. The first email was in 2025 last year, sometime I think in March or April, and I wanted to do a follow-up. I emailed them and I haven't heard from them. So I don't know if this project is dead. I don't know if it's indefinitely canceled, if it's suspended, if it's on hold. Now, if you look at their website, the MR63 project website, just search on Google for MR63 project, you'll see it's still active, and they're actually selling things on their MR63 type, I guess, theme stuff, like handbags and all these other different things, t-shirts. And it's not affiliated with the STM, by the way. This is an individual group. I think there are 2 or 3 guys that are doing this. But anyways, I don't know what's going on. Like I said, I emailed them, haven't heard any reply from them. I just wanted to find out if they're still doing this project where they're supposed to build this pavilion with the MR63 trains. Now, I also know, I guess they'll refurbish the ones that are in LaSalle, But there's also some others apparently that were in Boucherville or Longueuil recently, and those ones were left outside as well. But apparently those were moved indoors somewhere. This is what we're thinking. Skinfleck, amongst others, did some research, and they saw them on the Google Street View, Google Maps, from, I guess it was back in 2019. Now, they're not there anymore. We checked Google Maps, Google Street View again. The most recent one, I think, was last year. They're not there anymore. I think they were only temporary there as storage. And we're hoping and we assume that they've been moved somewhere indoors. So there's at least, was there like maybe 2 or 3 or 4 MR63 trains that were there. So yeah, hopefully they're indoors. So at least some of them are in good shape and not vandalized, or because the ones in LaSalle, they're in horrible shape. I mean, they're full of graffiti, they're full of rot. But the thing is, maybe it doesn't matter. Maybe because that's what their intention is. Maybe when they do this project, they're just going to put some there, maybe just a shell of them, and they'll just repaint the shell and sort of remove the guts of the train. I don't know how that's going to work. And maybe the ones that are hopefully inside somewhere safe, hopefully those will be ones that will be preserved in their original state. Now, of course, the one at Expo Rail is the one that's in the best condition. The one at, I believe, the University of Montreal, the Polytechnic building or whatever it's called, that one is also in great shape overall. And keep in mind, another thing about these trains, there was a set of them, or an element, I think there was 3 of them, or maybe more, I can't remember how many, but at one time, right after they retired the MR63s, and after they scrapped them all and donated them all, or sold them all to the different projects, the STM actually kept one set of them. I think it was at least a motor car, which is a cab car, and 2 trailer cars. So at least 3 wagons, possibly, which makes up an element, by the way. And when we talk about elements on MR63s and also the MR73, one element is basically it's a motor car, a trailer car, and another motor car. So yeah, pardon me. So it's a motor car, trailer car, and another motor car, and that's one element. So I think, if I'm not mistaken, they did preserve at least one motor car, a trailer car, and another motor car. And I think that's one element, and I think they kept 2 of those elements. So basically, a motor car, a trailer, and a motor car, and then another motor car, a trailer, and a motor car. So 2 elements. But they, for whatever reason, decided to scrap that 1 remaining or 2 remaining sets or elements, whatever. And now we only have the ones that are preserved. Another thing I wanted to mention as well, related to that, they were supposed to keep it for like special events. So imagine, we could have been riding an MR63 perhaps this October for the Metro's birthday. I forget, is it the 50, or it was 1966. So yeah, their birthday is coming out this year. So it's the 60th birthday of the Metro, I just confirmed. So imagine we could have had an MR63 train celebrating the Metro's 60th birthday. But unfortunately, there is none preserved. I guess they didn't have the funding to keep it or the space to keep it. But anyways, and of course the MR73 trains that we have right now, those are the second oldest ones from the 1970s. Those are coming up to the end of their lifespan. And within the next 10 years, I don't know if they're going to start replacing them, or at least come up with a plan to replace them. Because, I mean, those are from the 1970s, I believe. And those are in bad shape. But it's pretty good that they've preserved them for so long, extended their lifespan, and kept them in service. It's a pretty good testament to, how well they are at preserving these trains. But it can only last so long. So, once these trains are officially retired, we're going to have a new set of trains I don't know if it's going to be like the Azure, where we're going to have Alstom do the building. Now, of course, when the Azures were built, it was Alstom and Bombardier, but Bombardier doesn't have a rail division anymore. They completely sold it or gave it to Alstom. Now I'm wondering, is it going to be like when the MR63s first came out and then the MR73s came out? Is it going to be like how similar those were to each other, but they were different in a lot of ways? Are we going to have a second type of train very similar to the Azure, but also different in a lot of ways? I'm really not sure because what I'm trying to say is, you think of the Azure as the MR63, in terms of, it's a new type of train or whatever. Is the next train that they come out with, the next set of trains, the next series of trains, is it going to be like how similar yet different the MR73s were to the MR63s? Are we going to have something very similar to the Azure but not quite the same? Or are we going to have a completely different company, completely different design altogether? I don't know. I guess we'll have to see. So yeah, that's something interesting. What else do we have to talk about? Speaking of the metro, I'm just going to pause this for a moment. All right, just a bit of noise there. So yeah, speaking of the metro and the MR63s, I was recently very lucky to catch the very rare to find Montreal Metro vacuum train. And I want to thank a lot of members in the transit community that suggested doing this. So I took a video, I think it was about a month or so ago, of the vacuum train. Caught it for the first time on film. I know some other YouTubers caught it as well. I think TechNet 990 caught it. I think there was a couple of others that caught it. Jaden or Emma, their name is. They caught it. So there's a few videos out there. Nasmus Labs caught it many years ago when I was actually in the tunnel where the Cremazy tracks are, the work tracks, and that's where it comes out of the Uville shops. It comes right from the Uville shops. There's a tunnel there, and it parks in between where Cremazy and Sauvé is. Right past Cremazy, you have a third track where you often see trains parked for storage, and there's even a little pit under there where they can go underneath the Azure train or whatever train and look underneath it. If you are familiar with the Montreal Metro, you know what I'm talking about. If not, next time you're in the Metro, check out between Sauvé and Cremazy, very close to Cremazy station. You'll see there's a service track there, and right before there's a tunnel that goes to the Uville shops, which is where they store and fix the trains. So anyway, sure enough, a few weeks ago, I went to Cremazy and waited until the station was about to close. And sure enough, at 12:45 a.m. on the Saturday, because it's Friday and the Saturday, sure enough, the vacuum train came. The video's there if you want to see it. I think I got 300,000 views on that. Now, there was a lot of folks out there saying it was too shaky, and I was excited. It was my first time seeing this thing in person on film. So what I did was, this last weekend, this Friday that just passed, went back there. Actually went last Friday, never showed up. This Friday I went, sure enough it was there, it showed up. And there was a couple of other transit fans that happened to be there as well. There was Dan, aka Schmiga. There was Thyme Transit, aka Dexter. He was there, but we thought it wasn't going to show up, so he left. A few minutes after he left, unfortunately, it came. And this time I was on the other track. So if you look at my first video, I was on the Montmorency direction track. This one I was on the Côte Vertu direction track, or Côte Vertu direction platform, the same platform that the train was on. So it showed up exactly at 12:45 a.m. So I filmed it and turned out good, and it's on my channel, of course, if you want to see it. If you haven't seen it, that one is getting a lot of views as well. So I'm going to try again maybe and go back and get different angles of the train, from different perspectives. So maybe I'll even make a compilation video on it. But I mean, the vacuum train, if you want to try to catch it, you got to go Friday. Technically, well, it's Friday into Saturday. It's going to show up Usually it's the last 2 times I caught it, it's been exactly at 12:45 a.m. after midnight. So you go there Friday, hang around if you want around 11, 11:30, 11:50. Then the clock strikes midnight. It's Saturday, and about 45 minutes later, 12:45 a.m. Eastern Daylight Time, which is technically Saturday, Friday into Saturday, that's when the train is going to show up, and then you have to leave the station. So very, very nice. And it usually comes right after the last train going in the Coatford 2 direction, which is the track that it's on. And I think there's a couple more trains, at least one more train that passes around the same time as the vacuum train, or there's at least another one that might pass even after the vacuum train passes through Cremazie. But either way, that's the best time to catch it. So if you ever want to see this beautiful machine, Friday nights are your best bet, but it's not guaranteed. So I want to say that right now, it's never a guarantee. 2 out of the 3 times that I went there, it showed up. The first time and last night, but a week ago it never came. But I mean, 2 out of 3 times tells me that it's pretty good odds. So I'll definitely be going back there trying to get more videos of that. And I know Skinfleck and a couple of others want to hear the horn of this thing. Now, this vacuum train is actually based off of the MR63. The motors, I believe, are even MR63 motors. The lights, and this is the coolest thing about this, the lights of the vacuum train, they are the original MR63 lights. So there's no LEDs. If you guys recall, I think there was a certain period where, I don't know if it was all of them, but a lot of the MR63s got their original lights replaced, and they were replaced to LEDs. I know the MR73s, all of them had their lights replaced to LEDs. But I think those lights, I mean, I'm imagining those lights are, if they're not the original, they're probably very close to the original. They're definitely not LEDs, and I'm so happy they kept those original lights on there. Now the vacuum train, I mean, if you look at the video, I don't exactly know which part of the train is for what. I don't know what part is the vacuum, what part is you know, the engine, what part is the crew compartment, because it looks like it's such an ancient looking train. It's incredible, and I'd like to know, I'd love to be able to sort of know what each wagon is on that train, because there's at least like 4, 5, or 6 of them on there, and some of them run on the metal tracks. They have metal wheels, and you can hear the metal wheels, just like a couple of other maintenance vehicles. And I think it obviously runs on electricity. I don't hear any like diesel engine. I know some of the maintenance trains, because they cut the power to the tracks, they have to run on diesel. This one is electric, like an MR63 train, like a metro train. So they probably cut the power after this train goes by. Now the thing is, I don't know exactly when it does what line. Like, you see it leaving Cremazie in the Coatford 2 direction, comes out of the Youville shop tunnel, parks temporarily on the side tracks, the Youville side tracks there, service tracks, at Cremazie, the Cremazie service tracks, and then makes its way into Cremazie station. Now, I don't know, some nights does it go on the blue line? Because remember, there's also an entrance / exit to the Youville shops on the blue line, near the Castelnau station. Does it sometimes go there? What about, you know, if it's going on the green line, does it pass through Cremazie as well to get to the green line? Or does it take the blue line to Snowdon? I don't know exactly. Does it have a certain schedule for certain tracks? And you know, when it passes through Cremazie, is the vacuum cleaner itself of the train on? Is the actual vacuum component of the train on? Can't really tell. I mean, like, is it actually starting its route there at Cremazie? Why doesn't it go to Montmorency, or does it eventually back up to Montmorency later? A lot of questions I would love to know about it. Now, I will end the vacuum train topic by saying, well, first of all, I know Skinfleck, and I think Can, of course, the TMMP developer on Roblox, Montreal Metro project, he has it in his game, and Skinfleck has it in his game, but I think they're the only ones that are able to spawn it. It's like a, admin train, sort of, so to speak. So that's the first thing that's worth mentioning. And the second thing that's worth mentioning, to wrap this up, is I think the STM has already put out, at least they're exploring the option of replacing it because it's so old. So again, I mean, just to be clear, if you're not understanding what the vacuum train is, because I get sometime viewers on the videos thinking it's a train within a vacuum tunnel. You know, these futuristic vacuum trains that are supposed to go through vacuum tunnels? Some people are thinking, wait, is this what this is? No, this is a vacuum cleaner on wheels that cleans the train tracks. So again, this is literally a train, special customized metro train that has a huge vacuum on it and basically cleans the tracks. Has a vacuum cleaner that cleans the tracks. And I don't know how powerful this vacuum is. Like, what does it pick up? Is it able to pick, there's so many syringes, and now you think that it'd be a very dangerous sort of biohazard with all the stuff on the tracks these days, right? So I don't know what they do, where they empty it out, how the garbage is released. Does it spray water? Does it have some sort of liquid as well? Or is it just a vacuum? I don't know. And is the vacuum actually able to go under the platforms? Is there like a hose that goes under the platforms? Be something to check out next time I film it from the other side. Can we see hoses that reach under the platforms? So many questions, right? I mean, I don't know about you, but I'm really curious to know all the answers to these questions. So anyways, the vacuum train. Pretty interesting. Also wanted to thank Jack, bass guy. Went to see the Jazz Fest with him. Went to see it was a Quebec, Montreal band called Uzeb. He's a big fan of them. I listen to their music as well. Really great band. I'm into them now. They're a jazz fusion band. If you want to hear them, just look up Uzeb. They performed at the Jazz Fest in the 90s. I think they were around from the 70s to the 90s, late 90s. Then they did a reunion show a few years ago. Jack went to that. And we went to a documentary on this band, talking about them. It was Uzeb Infusion, it was called. And pretty cool. I mean, even though it was in French, just seeing it was really cool. And Jack got to meet, once again, the band members. So that's pretty cool, man. So and I was there to meet them as well. Glad to be a part of that. So thanks, Jack, for that. And I'm, like I said, I mentioned this a couple of times in my channel now. Mentioned it in some posts that I made. I mean, I'm not gonna lie, right now it's sort of a tough time for me. I'm trying to find a partner, a girlfriend, somebody that I can be with and build a future with, and it just seems so hard these days, but I'm trying to keep my mind active. I'm not going to jump into a relationship with just anyone. I've learned that from the last relationship I was in, without going into too many details. It was a disaster. I was used for money, and really brought out a side of me, turned me into sort of an angry person, because I was used and all that. But I wasn't treated like I felt like I should have been treated. But that ended a few years ago. Even though I wanted to keep it going, it wasn't my choice, it was hers. But in any event, I don't want to rush into something and end up getting hurt again. So I want to make sure it's the right person this time. But while I'm waiting, it's been difficult. It's really difficult. But I'm trying to keep my mind focused and trying to keep myself busy, while I do the search. And like I said, I'm not going to rush anything, but at the same time, I am looking. But whether it's making YouTube videos or whatnot, sometimes I do like to take a break. Sometimes I just lose motivation. That's why sometimes you see me go maybe a week or so without uploading. It's sort of like I go through these phases. So I just wanted to end with that note. I mean, I'm sure, a lot of my viewers out there and people listening right now probably have their own issues that they go through. I know pretty much, wouldn't say everyone, but there's a large chunk of viewers, friends out there that also have their own issues. So, it's good to let it out and talk about it. So yeah, anyways, mental health is important. But I always try to be positive for my channel, for my videos. So, I'm just trying to make a point here that, and by the way, I'm walking right now, so if you hear a bit of crunching. But my point is that I'm trying to make here that sometimes I just don't have the motivation to do videos or whatnot, but I usually come back to it. So anyways, what else is there? Like I said, I'm going to try to start doing nature walks more, walking videos more. I know transit is a big part of my channel, but I do want to start focusing on other things as well, because, I want to keep everybody happy. So anyways, that's about it for tonight. So thanks for listening, and I'll do another podcast soon enough. So, and yes, I do want to have guests eventually. Maybe after the 10th episode or so, we'll start doing that. But anyways, thanks for listening, guys, and see you all next time.